The Gauteng MEC of Finance and Economic Development, Lebogang Maile, says the gross domestic product GDP of the province declined by 6%. Now, he was addressing the media on the key priorities of the 7th administration. And to give an update on the state of the province's economy in Sandton, this is in north of Johannesburg, SABC News reporter Patricia Visagie is with the MEC live right now. Let's take you there.
Good morning. Yes, a lot of priority points that go to, of course, the belly of Gauteng economy, as we would know that this is the country's economic hub, one of the smallest province in terms of perhaps land capacity, but also having the highest population. Unemployment is also one of the social ills that are plaguing a lot of citizens in the Gauteng province. So these are all the issues that the MEC obviously needs to tackle in terms of allocating the money in the province to deal with these issues and to make sure that ultimately the people on the ground benefit from the economy in Gauteng. And one of the priority points that he did mention is the state-owned provincial bank that will go to the heart of I think, empowering the township economy. As you would know, throughout the couple of years, intense focus has been on township economy. The previous premiers have been making sure that that is actually what Gauteng focuses on. And now we hear that it seems like the promises of a state-owned provincial bank is still in the pipeline. And when we look at some of the challenges that we have seen with the SOEs, state-owned entities, some would ask, is it even necessary to create such an institution? And how will you navigate around the malfeasance, corruption that often cripple such institutions?
Thank you very much, and good morning to you and the viewers at home. That's an important question and fundamental, and that's why one of the things we are looking at is a possibility of getting a partner who knows how to run a bank, a partner who has systems, a partner who has money, who has knowledge, who's got skills, so that we don't try and learn on the job, but we rather ensure that whatever that we put in place as a state-owned bank is going to work immediately. That's why one of the options we're looking at is to possibly acquire an existing bank which has got systems already, which has got a footprint, and then we take up equity as a provincial government, because we are also worried about that. We don't want to just create institutions for its own sake. We have every time there's a problem, you create an institution. An institution ends up having its own problems, and instead of solving the problem, it adds into the problem. We think in the last 30 years we should know better. We have learned that there are certain things that can be done better when you work with the private sector, and that's why in this case it's not just about state owning it 100%. We will need the private sector to work with us.
This has been coming for a couple of years now that we're hearing the promises, or rather the plans to have this institution, and we do not see it coming into life. Is there a timeline? Are you looking at perhaps pushing harder than those who came before you?
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why it has not been realized, it's because there's been conflicting ideas on the form that it must take. And there's been views that, but anyway, you've got a post bank, why don't you just leverage on that at the national level? Others thought, convert some of your funding institutions like the Gauteng Enterprise Propeller into this. And I think now we are clearer in our minds that we would want a combination of public and private sector, because we need that skill, we need those resources. We need those systems, and then we can have something that will work. So we will be pushing very hard, and we hope that sooner than later we should be having a bank. In fact, in the next coming few weeks, we will be putting a formal proposal to one of the banks, but we can't divulge now which one because we have not even approached them. But we will be putting a formal proposal, an offer to say we want to acquire this bank, want to acquire a stake on behalf of the people of Gauteng.
You've already indicated that you have not yet had engagements with struggling municipalities, those who are struggling financially, and you are yet to meet with them. But we know the challenges, in particular the latest being linked to the exorbitant electricity hikes. Many people in the municipality simply cannot afford this. As the Gauteng province, when it comes to perhaps supporting some of the municipalities where they're struggling, in terms of those who can not keep up, is there a strategy?
We are worried about the cost of living. It's too high, it's unaffordable, and we ought to look at the factors that contributes towards the cost of living, which affects ordinary people, including the cost of electricity, the cost of services that are provided by municipalities. But we said that we will not want to speak with municipalities through the media. We will be meeting with them, those responsible for finances, to look at the state of finances firstly, and look at what strategies do they have in place, because we don't want to assume that they are sitting on their laurels and not doing anything. I think that will be an unfair and wrong assumption. We are confident that they are also worried, and we will work together to ensure that we find a solution to these complex problems.